Water pollution is a great issue all around the world. It is defined as any contamination of water with chemicals or other foreign substances that are detrimental to human, plant, or animal health by the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. Nowadays, many industries release poisonous substances in the sea, and as a result, some of our oceans are really polluted. And this action results as a market failure for our community. The government in many countries, most of all in poor countries, has not succeeded in finding a solution to this problem. However, it must find it in order to preserve the earth, to protect the fishes, and to protect us from these poisonous substances. In the graph showed in this slide, we can see the demand curve shifted upwards as water pollution represents a market failure.
The articles we use for this presentation is not a specific occurrence that happened in my community. However, we wanted to focus more on the various effects that pollution can bring upon a market and how it turns into a market failure. So we loosely based the following slides on several incidents along the Philippines Manila Bay area where most of the poor fisher folk live. The cost of water pollution from various urbanization would lead to a series of challenges for the community. Number one, seafood poisoning would be a big problem. Water pollution would poison the local seafood fishing areas. Local fishermen will still sell the contaminated harvest. Another would be food poisoning. Those who eat the contaminated seafood would most likely suffer from food poisoning, sickness, or even death. There would be a great increase of hospital bills, healthcare, and insurance payments that will be part of the social cost. Another problem would be the cleaning. A lot of expenses will have to be put out by the community to help clean up the contaminated waters. Since the community is mostly made up of poor fisher folk whose income source is now depleted, money for cleanup and taxes will be hard to come by. When the bay fishing areas are contaminated through these situations, the community has no choice but to sell the seafood. It is their only source of meager income. They can easily sell it to their neighbors, relatives, or in the black market. The establishment of a black market is a sign of market failure. A great increase of expenses for health care and cleanup movements will also occur. The Philippines government would increase their taxes in order to generate enough money to do so. However, the Philippine government is filled with corruption, so it is very difficult to count on them for help. The cost will fall on the people themselves. These incidents of urbanization, industrialization, increased population, and occurrences of the red tide all contribute to the pollution of local waters. They are all negative externalities which affect the social cost of the community's population and lead to market failure. So, what does the government do? There are several things during different occurrences that the government took action. In this picture, it shows different incidents of negative externalities of production which led to market failures. In the previous slides, I focused on the year 2000 incident of Manila Bay. There was an overexploitation of natural resources and urbanization and industrialization which brought about the seafood contamination and market failure. So, are the actions of the government working? Even with the acts they have implemented, the obvious answer is no. Sadly, there is still an establishment of illegal markets in the Philippines, not only related to the selling of contaminated seafood, but there are various kinds out there. Alcohol, pirated DVDs, cheap copies, and much more. No matter what the Philippine government does, market failure is always present. So that's the end of our presentation of market failure. Thanks for watching.